Hi, it's Thad at Willoway. We're in one of our greenhouses here today. Talk a little bit about our lupine crop for next year. A couple big important things is, one, this West Country has been canned up for about 6 weeks now. We're progressing really well. It's really important for us this fall to establish a good root system on these because they get going so early in spring. If they don't have a good root system, they don't come up very quickly in spring, and the flower stalks aren't as big. So we're really pushing them along. We're getting some really nice new growth and breaking. We're starting to get roots wrapping all the way around, so we've got nice white healthy roots. Good establishment of these. We do have to monitor why we have them inside the greenhouse is because we have an issue. Lupine are susceptible to anthracnose. It's a leaf foliar leaf disease, and so we got to make sure that the foliage stays dry as possible. And in this colder, wet season that we have in the fall, there's more susceptibility to it. So we just take that environmental factor away and monitor the progress. Once we get to a certain point with them, then we'll move them out to cold houses for the winter. They're plenty hardy. They don't have any issue, and it actually helps us bring them up more seasonably so they bloom at the right time. Lupine, because they want to get going so early, sometimes in a greenhouse setting where even unheated they can want to get going too early in the spring. So real important. We also do a good biological control, so we're using Aureus here and releasing on a weekly basis. We do get thrips in them a little bit, so that's something we want to continue to stay on top of throughout the season. As you can see, behind me, the next section, after the blue sticky tape, which is for part of our integrated pest management, to just trap for any kind of insects that might be in here. But that crop was only canned about 4 weeks ago. It's a little further behind. We got a little bit of yellowing. We are fertilizing these to bring them up and go. So, and then we have some other crops back behind, some liners. I wanted to talk a little bit today about getting ready for winter. So some of the things that we do here in the nursery is kind of what we call consolidation, which is putting basically the plants can to can in the house. And then we set up different crops with different kind of protection. This house will be covered here with plastic on the outside, but we do run plastic, you can see tucked on the edges here. Plastic, which once these go a little more dormant and we get into season, we'll pull the plastic over for the winter. Basically, right now we're just looking for things to kind of get shut down and kind of go to sleep here for the fall. And then we'll clean them up early spring. We'll clean the tops up and have them basically ready to go and come back in the spring. But the plastic stays on all winter. It's just an extra layer of protection. What that does is help keep the ground heat down close to the plants. It keeps the root system from freezing up solid. And basically we kind of keep them a little bit, I won't say awake, but like not fully like frozen like a brick. So I sometimes get the question why we cover some of our houses so early. It's October 14th today, and we have our hydrangea macrophylla houses are covered. There's two reasons we've done that. One is we have all the plants where we want them for next spring, and we also have water inside these houses. So water is a real consideration for us when covering. The houses that do not have water inside the houses, those are the last things we cover. But we have to kind of work through the progression because of the number of houses we have here at Willoway. Also, our hydrangea macrophylla, we have heaters on the houses, and that's to help maintain temperature. We have a temperature setting on these of like 30 degrees. That's just so they don't go fully dormant in the winter. They get cold, they go to sleep, but they're not frozen. And that's because of early season sales on these. They're plenty hardy outside. There's no issue with any of that, but what we're trying to do, we also have these in pots above ground, so we want to make sure we don't have a lot of freezing thawing going on. You can see a little bit. Some are crushing here. They're all in a nice light space. These are newer crop. We do monitor this for diseases early in the spring, March, sometimes with the flowers on. We will look at a little botrytis. That's something that we treat for if we see anything going on. But that heater that was outside is on this end. There's a thermostat down towards the middle of the house that picks up the temperature. So that's what regulates the temperature in the house here. With the heaters running, it also takes some of the humidity out of the house as well. And we do have 2 layers of plastic on all our hydrangea macrophylla. One is the white which is like a 30% shade, and that's just to help a little more insulation. And then we have a clear underneath that in the spring will strip off early, and we use that solar gain from the sunny days with the clear to help bring the plants up and grow them a little bit. We don't want to get too far off what our customers need, but we also use that to just get things started in the spring. Some of the other things that are really important is where the heater comes in. We have HAF fans on the roof or on the ceiling, and those help push the heat all the way down evenly. Otherwise, just with the one heater, we couldn't heat this entire stretch of house. So a lot of our houses that are minimal heat, we leave spaced. That's so when we come in the spring, we cut these back in late February. And when we cut them back, then we have plenty of room for them to grow up and go. If we are on unheated houses, generally we bring things more can to can and the consolidation like you saw earlier in the video with the hosta. And that's just to kind of help keep the insulation factor of being together. And we do not cover any of these inside the house. We do another area of we have 4 stages of hydrangea macrophylla being in, so we can split the crop out a little bit longer. Some of our older crop, we do put those can to can, and those do get plastic, but those are on unheated houses. So based on the conditions of the house determines how we determine how we're going to put those plants away inside that house. But most of our heated stuff, we generally tend to go to a space on it. That's because it's intended for early spring sales. Hi, we came back. We're kind of hydrangea macrophylla and wintering. This is another one of our houses. This is an older crop. We do have this spaced out, but we have no heat in this house. So we will grow these on. One of the things is this is a new size for us this year. This is a 5 gallon. We have it in a couple different varieties, Endless Summer, Bloomstruck. And what we did was we took a gallon and shifted it into a 5. Really nice rooting. We did this summer, and you can see we got really nice root mass in here. Really solid, heavy plants. These are going to jump up in spring and be a nice heavy grade for us. We had some requests for a little bigger sizing, so that's why we made the choice to do this. So new program, just wanted to kind of introduce it a little bit and let you know we're really excited about how well these plants are growing.